Welcome to another edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show, looking back on round 8 in the competition. My name's Yeendy and I'm always excited to be with you. I've got the great man Shane Anwell with me. Thanks for joining us again, mate.
Pleasure again, Yeendy.
And another great weekend of footy and a few tight games, which is always good to have in the competition.
Yeah, it is halfway through the season and yeah, look, it's certainly tightening up. There's still probably 10 or 11 clubs that are in there for the finals at the end of the year.
And on a side note as well, a great day over at Campbell's Creek on Sunday where they did some great fundraising for MND, which was great for the community. They got a lot of people there, raised a lot of money for a good cause. Yeah,
congratulations to them. They put a lot of time and effort into that. Certainly a good cause and well done to the whole club.
And they're the first game we'll take a quick look at their team on the weekend, because that was a big one in the context of the competition. Maybe not the top end, but certainly down the bottom end is unfortunately there for the Creekers. They went down to Maldon, who secured their first W of season 2017.
Yeah, it was, and well done to Maldon. They've been certainly looking for this since the start of the year. It was a close game, only 8 points of difference there, and look, well done to Maldon.
And they certainly had a rough start as well, because the Creekers bolted out of the blue to lead 4-2 to 1 point, so they were 25 points down before they could really get started. But they kicked 7 goals in the second term, and they fought back, and that's a good way to win too, to be down and then come back and show that sort of character and strength.
Yeah, it shows a lot of spirit, certainly.
They said the winners there, Maldon, certainly spread the goal kickers around. They had a couple of multiples, while Stubbings kicked 3 for Campbell's Creek. Newstead recorded a big win over Avoca, 108 to 72. The game was set up in the third term, with Newstead kicking 5 goals to set the game up. So Avoca, they've played some pretty close games in recent weeks, and they've not been able to secure the wins when they've had to. If they had, they'd probably be right in the finals contention.
Yeah, look, there's a couple there that have probably got away from them that they would like to have won. Would have put them certainly knocking on the door of the 8. But Newstead started slowly this year, and they've put a few wins together, which is great. I think on Saturday, from reports, their coach Dylan Burke played a great game, kicked a couple of goals, and certainly led from the front.
Yeah, that's what we want, some good leadership there, and that win there from Newstead puts them 4-4. They well, I'll throw out a number now. Try and guess with all the numbers I'm going to be throwing out your way for the rest of this sort of review show. There's going to be one common number. 4 is that one, because Newstead have one of 4 teams are on 4-4, and there's 2 teams in the top 8. There's 2 teams sitting on the fringes. We looked at Carisbrook, who are undefeated, mate. They are doing a great job at the moment. They beat Lexington by 68 points on the weekend.
Yeah, they did, and look, they just went about their business on Saturday, did what they had to do, and did it quite well. 68 points was a good margin for them, and they just keep on keeping on.
Lexington did all right too. They were trailing, also in the second half, I should say. They trailed by 63 points at half time, so they did pretty well to sort of stem the bleeding in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we had a couple of players there, Wright and Tracy. They kicked 4 goals for the winners there. Harcourt, they've soared straight into 4th position at the moment. They had a big win over Denali by 165 points. It was 107 to 10 at half time. Denali, they had that win a few weeks ago, to a good confidence boosting win, but they've sort of fallen away since then.
Yeah, they have. They've come up against some good teams, of course.
Yep.
Harcourt, 165 points. I think I said last week they're just going about their business and quietly going along, and they've certainly snuck up there. I think 4th on the ladder they are, and they're looking quite comfortable.
And to kick 29-9 in pretty good conditions like that as well is very impressive. Navarre, they go and speak about another team just going about business as usual, mate. They had a 33-point win over Royal Park, but it was a tough game for them.
Yeah, it was. Pardon me, 12 goals, 16. So they had plenty of shots and had plenty of tries at getting all those goals. But they did enough that they needed to do, and good win.
One for the stats as well. Navarre kicked 4 goals, 4 in the third, and 4 goals, 4 in the fourth, while Cody Driscoll kicked 4 goals. So I'm loving that number this week. It's great. Maryborough Rovers 13-4-82 defeated Trentham 10-15-75. We did say last week this was going to be a close one, and it delivered on all expectations.
Yeah, certainly did. 7 points there. I think Trentham are probably kicking themselves a bit that they didn't get that. 10 goals, 15 to 13-4. So Rovers kicked straight and kicked well, but Trentham, I think they'll look back at this one and think what could have been.
Well, exactly. They led it quarter time by 11, half time by 8, and 3/4 time by 17 points. Maryborough come out, kicked 6-3 to 2-3 in the final term, and That's all she wrote there.
Yeah, I think they led for the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game, and that was it.
Oh, fantastic work there by Merrow Rovers. Fletcher for the Rovers, he kicked 4 goals in that game there. As we look to the last game, we didn't see any this famous number 4 appear in this context. We saw Natty Bialba jump back up with a big win over Talbot, 91-60. Natty Bialba kicked 5 goals to 2 in the third turn to set up the win.
Yeah, they did. Again, did what they had to do and got the points.
Yep, did a fantastic job there. Good factor in the number 4. It was 13 goals to 9, so the 4 goal difference there. We'll certainly roll with that. Shano, thanks so much for joining us as we look back on round 8 in the MCDFNL. We look forward to catching up with you later on the week.